What up, YouTube? It's your boy Soul Immortal with Immortal Minds. I'm sitting there stuck in the middle of Missouri, man, at Joplin Airport, man. So I figured, what better to occupy my time than to make a quick video, man. So most of my videos, man, have been geared toward, men that are getting married, men, some of the pitfalls that men in general need to avoid. But man, this video, man, I really want to talk to the guys, the young men that are new to the community. We throw words like MGTOW around, we throw words like red pill around, but I really just wanted to make an attempt to break these things down, man, so these younger men or new men to the community can have a good understanding on what we're talking about and what this MGTOW mindset is about. So, first question is, what is the red pill and how does one obtain it? So, in a nutshell, man, the red pill is simply truth, knowledge, understanding, and more importantly, it's awareness. Awareness of not only oneself, but awareness of things that are taking place in the world around us. So how does one obtain the red pill? Well, it's clear in the Bible that the way to obtain knowledge and understanding is simply to ask and to seek it. But the thing about the red pill, man, it's no different than any other medication you take. A person really won't seek that medication unless they first realize there's a problem. And in my opinion, that's where I think the relationship between red pill knowledge and MGTOW come hand in hand or come so close together. See, a man normally won't seek knowledge unless he first goes through something. In the situation of MGTOW, man, most of these men have either gone through divorces or bad relationships and have at some point hit rock bottom. You can also have a desire to seek this knowledge. If you lose a job, if you come down with some kind of illness or some traumatic event happens in your life, it normally, the wanting of the red pill knowledge, man, usually comes when you're at a low. For me, it came at several stages in my life, man, but it mainly came when I went through a divorce and lost a job, which all happened at the same time. So when I was at my low, man, the only thing I wanted was a clear understanding on what life was about, man. There came a point in time, man, where I no longer wanted cars, I no longer wanted all these things. I wanted nothing but understanding, and I think that's the state that most men get in when they ask for that red pill knowledge. So let's talk about MGTOW. What does MGTOW stand for? Men going their own way. So to the newcomer to the community, he's saying, okay, men going their own way. But the questions he has is, where are they going? And when will you know you've arrived? So to answer that question, where are they going? And also answer the question, when will they know they've arrived? That's the beauty of MGTOW, man, because everyone's story is going to be different, right? So to answer the first question, where are they going? It's going to be different for everybody, man. Some people are in MGTOW because, it's just a temporary hiatus, man. They could have been hurt in a relationship, or they could have went through a stage where they didn't understand women, they couldn't get women, so they resort to MGTOW. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that, man. So that's where they're headed. They're headed to seek that knowledge. Other people seek solitude. You hear some people talking about MGTOW monks. And this group of guys, man, they've completely eliminated, women out of their lives, man. They abstain from sex, they abstain from dating, talking, any kind of relationships. So what these guys are seeking is solitude. For me, MGTOW is to seek enlightenment. At this part of my life, man, that there's nothing more important to me than to realize why I'm here on earth. What my purpose is, what I'm capable of as a man. So that's why I'm MGTOW. Now, to answer the question, when will we know we've arrived? That's a crucial question. But before we answer that question, we first need to talk about the path to getting to that place. Now, the late Bruce Lee had the best example on illustrating why a person couldn't receive knowledge. You know, Bruce Lee was a famous actor, a famous martial artist, as well as a martial arts trainer, right? So when Bruce Lee had students that just couldn't quite pick it up, he gave them this example, right? He would have a glass of water, and then he would also have a glass of Coke. And he would say, this glass of water represents me and all the knowledge I'm trying to give you. Then he would point to the glass of Coke and say, this glass of Coke represents you and the conditioning that you're currently in. Then he would take that glass of water and pour it inside the Coke. And as you know, as you can imagine, rather, that the black Coke would, pretty much lighten up a little bit, but it still wouldn't be that pure water. And he would say, this is why I can't teach you what I know, because there's too much of you inside of you. And that's pretty much the first stage, guys, of making that change. One of the most crucial parts of any journey, as far as spiritual journey or knowledge itself, is to first understand that you have to remove what's currently inside of you, man. And that is, in my opinion, the hardest thing. Once you've lived 20, 30, 40 years of being conditioned a new thing, it makes it hard to learn a new thing because there's so much of you that you can't get past. There's a quote by Leonardo da Vinci. It says, among the great things which are to be found among us, the being of nothingness is the greatest. And what he's saying, guys, is what's so great about nothingness is once you empty everything out in you, at that point, and only at that point, can you begin to see what reality really is. You know what I'm saying? It was also a quote in the Bible that went hand in hand with it. Matthew 18:3. It says, and he said, truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like the little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, this is where we start going down the rabbit hole a little bit, man. This is where we start going into a little bit deeper knowledge. See, most people, when they hear the kingdom of heaven, they think that it's this magical golden place that we go when we die that's filled with mansions. But once you really read the word, once you really study the Bible, you find, man, that the kingdom of heaven that's not what it's talking about. The kingdom of heaven, man, is a state of being that God wants us to be in while we're here on earth. So in a nutshell, when the Bible says, and I'm paraphrasing, it's saying, when you'll be seeking all things, but first seek ye the kingdom of heaven. What he's saying is, before you do anything else, seek knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. In other words, he wants us to seek him, seek God. So you ask yourself the question, how can we seek God? How can a man find God if no one has ever found him, right? If no one has ever seen him. So what we're supposed to do, guys, is to seek the very thing that God made in his image, which is to seek self. So the only way to find God truly is to find knowledge of self, right? So just in a nutshell, man, without going through all that, to find oneself, to find knowledge, to find the red pill is to find God. God is the red pill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go too deep off in that, man. That's gonna be another video, maybe even another channel, man. But like I was going back to, man, the main thing, man, is to first realize that you're full of conditioning, man, and that you need to really get that all out of your system. So how will a man know he's arrived? There are three things that you'll know when you've arrived to that point. Three things. The first thing is a loss of all fears. The second is you'll have clarity, and three is you'll be completely unplugged. So let's go over a loss of all fears. So one of my greatest fears, man, when growing up, man, as a very young man, was the fear of death. You know, that there was nothing more frightening, man, in my mind than the fear of death. And simply it was because of my lack of knowledge and what I didn't know. But as I began to take doses of the red pill daily, man, this knowledge came to me, man. See, the Bible says that, you know, those that believe, man, will have eternal life. And it took me a long time to really understand what that was saying. But if you look at the study of Sir Isaac Newton, when he talks about energy, it says the energy can never be created, energy can never be destroyed, it can only be transferred. So realizing the fact that us as human beings are all energy, it all made sense to me, and the fear of death went away. See, once you get that understanding, man, you realize that there is no such thing as death. You know, if I'm energy, if I've always existed, if I always will exist, then that whole fear goes away, man. You know, I think about this life, man, knowing that one day I'll leave this life, but if energy can never be destroyed, that means that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, I'll be in another form. What they're saying is that I've already died. I probably died 1,000,000 deaths already. So what is there to fear? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about clarity, man. One thing you'll start observing, man, once you start taking daily doses of the red pill, man, once you're consistently seeking and asking for knowledge, man, is clarity. And when I say clarity, this is what I'm meaning, man. You'll get to a point, man, where you'll see the world for what it is. Not only will you see, you know, people for what they are, man, but everything in life. For example, television. Now, currently, man, I watch maybe 1 hour to 2 hours max of television per month. Per month, man. There is absolutely no desire for me to cut my television on, man, most of the time, because I'm fully aware now on its purpose, man. You know, and when I do cut it on, man, I'm looking at it through a lens. I'm looking at, you know, television shows. I'm looking at commercials, and I'm looking at what they're trying to, you know, I'm looking at the conditioning they're trying to instill in me, man. And that's why I'm so hard on women that watch these shows like Housewives of Atlanta, man, and Hip Hop of LA or whatever it's called, and all these shows, and because these shows are conditioning women to be a certain way. You know, I've said it 1,000,000 times before, man, that you know, television is making women, you know, be prepared to be side chicks more than they are to be wives. And women just don't realize this, man. They're pumping this stuff in their minds on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and they don't get that it's poisoning them, man. So clarity, you'll begin to see clarity, man, not only in yourself but in everything around you. Now the third thing, man, about when you know you've arrived, man, you will have the desire to completely unplug from life. See, I'm in a stage in life now, man, where I just don't fit. I really just don't fit in this world, man. Like, I've completely unplugged, or for the most part, unplugged. I have no desire to watch anything on television. I have no desire to have a favorite sports team. I have no desire in organized religion. I have no desire to participate in any political agenda because the red pill is giving me knowledge on what that stuff really is, man. You know, we bicker back and forth, man, about this stuff, man, and I'm looking at it like how minuscule it is in real life, man. How purposeless it is, man. You know the art of war, man, you know, states that dividing and conquering, man, is one of the major objectives, man, to break people down. You know, for example, so I'll start with social media, man. You know, I used to be on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, man. But one thing I noticed as I began to get knowledge, I noticed that this stuff was just dragging me down. I had no idea why. It was just dragging me down, man. Seeing people, you know, going, you know, complaining about life, seeing people bicker about certain things, put their personal business out there, man. For the longest, that stuff drained me. You know, I had no idea why, man. You know, I'll make another video on the hazards of social media, but just skimming the area, man. Social media, man, is one of the most hazardous things, man, you can think of. Religion. I've completely unplugged from, organized religion. Now, not to say that I'm not spiritual. Do I believe in God? Yes, most definitely. Do I believe in Jesus? Yes, most definitely. But do I believe in organized religion? Hell to the no. Now, my father, man, my father was a Baptist minister, man. So I was in the church, my whole life growing up, man. But there came a point in time, man, where I began to ask for knowledge, and God started putting me in certain situations, man. So back in the days, man, I was living in Oklahoma, man, and I was just meditating daily on, man, just obtaining knowledge and realizing, what this world was about. So I was placed in a position, man, where the pastor of my church asked me to start teaching Sunday school, and this was a major turning point in my life, man. See, the thing is, I've been studying and reading the Bible my whole life, but I never had to study it hard enough to the point where I had to teach it to other people. So once I began, studying this thing on a daily basis, man, I quickly realized that the things I was reading in this book were the polar opposite, man, on what not only my preacher, man, but what all preachers that I've ever heard were speaking, man. And that was a rude awakening for me, man. And I'm not gonna go down that road, man. That's a whole nother video. But organized religion, I don't participate anymore. And I can't say that I'm, that I'm not biased. For example, I've been raised in a Christian church my whole life. I spent time overseas, man, and I've spent time in mosque. I prayed with Muslims. I prayed, in the States with Muslims. I've attended Jum'ahs. I went to Catholic services, man. I went to a small handful of religions, man, because now I'm released from it. I'm released from that, having that name attached to me, man, where I have to believe a certain thing. Politics. Now, I know some people feel very strongly about politics, just like they do religion. But in my mind, man, I almost laugh at people who go back and forth about politics and their politician. And it's for several reasons. For one, you have to sit back, man, and say, you know what? There are 325, million people in the United States. And all we can choose from is a small pool of, one or two, maybe three families. That alone should be a red flag. Of all the people in the United States, it's funny that we only pull from a small pool of people. But besides all that, the game of politics, man, there really is no difference. Whether you're independent, whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, when you really see it from a point of knowledge, there is no difference, man. It's only an attempt to divide and conquer. It's only an attempt to divide and conquer, man. There's some things about Hillary Clinton that I'm sure I could have found that I agreed with. There are plenty of things that I can't stand about her. Donald Trump, I can't stand his ass either. But there are some things that Donald Trump has done and is doing that I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea. I support that cause. Hell, even going back to Barack Obama. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna sit there and lie that it didn't feel to see a man in office that looked like me. But the red pill knowledge in me, fully understood that it was the same bullshit system. It was the same bullshit system. So I don't play that political game, man. I answer to a much higher power, man. In the Bible, Jesus said, give Caesar what's his, and pretty much keep it moving, man. So participating in organized religion, participating in politics, man, it only attracts the lower man in yourself, man. It's all about seeking and answering to a higher power, man. So unplugging. So once you get to that point, man, where you have no desire, man, to be a part of anything, it's got to the point, man, where I don't even have a favorite sports team. I used to be diehard Green Bay, man, for the last, 12, 13 years. But man, once I started realizing, man, the things that were taking place in the world on the spiritual side, man, I really don't have time to really entertain anything else. Even friends, man. I'll tell you this, my best friend, I've been knowing him since I was, what, 3 or 4 years old. This is my best friend, right? Me and him speak only on 2 occasions per year. That's in January during his birthday, and then we speak in July on my birthday. Now, during these times, we'll have some deep conversation. We might text back and forth for 2 or 3 days, but then we pretty much both move on with our lives, man. But me and him, we're both on the same page, man. And even though I only talk to this guy once or twice a year, man, I still consider him my best friend, man. I'm already, introverted, man. But, man, having knowledge of self, man, it gets to the point where, I almost hate being around people. I mean, I love people, don't get it wrong. I'll give a man I don't know the shirt off my back. And anybody that knows me believes that, knows how I am. But at the same time, man, there's no greater peace, man, than just being alone with myself in a room. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple of books. If nothing else, man, just my thoughts and meditation. Communing with God, man. That's the red pill, man. So any of you guys looking, man, to go down that rabbit hole of the red pill, man, I'm just letting you know what to expect, man. Because just like any other medication, man, say for example, if you got a headache, man, and you take some Tylenol, okay, yeah, that Tylenol is gonna heal your headache, is gonna fix the problem, but that medicine is not just going to your head and stopping. That medicine is going to your whole body, and that's how the red pill works, man. A lot of men use their red pill knowledge to figure out the nature of women, and that's good. But I'm telling you, if you take enough red pills, that red pill is going to start affecting every single part of your life, man, and you'll begin to see it. You'll begin to see it. Just remember, man, once you seek that knowledge and ask for it, it's coming. It's coming. And I'm going to tell you this, there's going to be a lot of things you don't like. Because when this knowledge started coming to me, man, it was a lot of things that I disagreed with because I was raised to think a certain way. But it is what it is, man. If you want that knowledge, it's there. And to wrap up, man, once you get to that point, man, once you've arrived, you'll realize, man, that you've overall, man, you've just reinvented yourself, man. You can look at my name, Soul Immortal. Look at the name of my page, man, Immortal Minds. That was part of the new me, man. That was part of, the way God reinvented me, man. For example, Soul Immortal, man. The red pill showed me, man. So this is how it works, man. There are 2 sides of us. There's a physical side that resides here on earth, and then there's a spiritual side that lives in us, man. That's tied to the spiritual side. Now, what the red pill is doing, man, the red pill is guiding you toward the spiritual side of your life. To get that spiritual knowledge, you have to tie into the spiritual side of your life. So once you get a good grasp on that spiritual side, you understand that, for example, that is the part of you that will live forever. So like I said before, that's why I no longer fear death. Because when I live on that spiritual side, I'll never die. My soul side. So that's where Soul Immortal comes from. Because that side of me, that soul side, will never die. Soul Immortal. Now, there'll come a point in time where you learn to function on this physical side and live in the spiritual side. And that's when the spiritual side and the physical side tie together. You have 2 minds on one track. So now that I know that my spiritual side is immortal, now that I'm in the physical realm, I realize that this side is immortal too, if I want it to be. Therefore, that's why I get immortal minds. That's where that comes from. Because not only do I understand that the physical side is immortal, that's the side that I live in also while I'm on the physical side. So, I don't know, man. I'm just sitting here waiting on my flight, man. I'm delayed 4 hours, so I figured I'd come out here, man, to make a quick video, man, and do a little rambling. But that's my 2 cents, man, to you younger guys, man, that are just new to this game, new to this knowledge, and want to know more about it, man. And then, just to bring women back into this, I'll talk about the 95% all the time. And it's not that I'm saying that the 95% of women are evil and only 5% are good. I'm saying that in this world that I've created for myself, only 5% of women that exist can relate and can reside in this area, man. I mean, there's a small percentage of people, a small percentage of women that can ride with me like that. Because like I said, man, I'm not into the whole social media. I'm not into the whole, just the way the world works. A normal woman, man, a 95%er, they gonna either be bored with me or they just gonna completely not understand where I'm coming from. So as a MGTOW man, as a red pill man, I have to make the decision on if I wanna go back in that direction and live in that blue pill state, or do I want to proceed and seek knowledge and continue on my path, man. So that's the struggle. That's the struggle with women. That's it in a nutshell, man. So, man, I'm going to wrap it up, man. I just wanted to make this quick video, man. I hope this helped. And I hope that I didn't step on too many toes, man. But that stuff that I talked about, man, religion, politics, that stuff that we'll dig into a little deeper, man, because I think it's important. I think it's important to make videos, concerning women as far as other pitfalls that men need to face. But every once in a while, man, I think I need to make a video, man, to just talk about the raw knowledge that comes with being MGTOW, with the raw knowledge that comes with seeking the red pill, man. So it's your boy Soul Immortal, and I'm out.